America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
I'm sorry, did I give you enough time to put the thing on?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome everybody. We did the pledge. How about the minutes? Everybody have an opportunity to read the minutes. Can I get a motion? Motion, got a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Passed. Let's move right into PS1, resolution authorizing budget modification to transfer funds from personnel examination line to other fees and services for the emergency management office. Can I get a motion? Motion, got a second? Got a second, thank you. Discussion, go ahead, yeah.
So this is a continuation of the workforce commitment to EMS education. So they paid for us students to take the EMS course that we had going on. This is just looking money that they gave to us out of the revenue line to an expense line to pay for the course.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. PS2, resolution authorizing budget modification E911, other equipment. Can I get a motion? Motion, got a second. Kev?
So this was, was looking to purchase some equipment that was going to allow us to do a backup while we take some of our microwave links down during maintenance. And I was expecting to purchase that out of repairs and maintenance budget line, but I was corrected and it's come out of other equipment, so I just think that.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. PS3, resolution authorizing budget modification E911 overtime. Motion, got a second. Yep.
So kind of what we run into every year around this time, that we try to do our best with overtime, but with staffing and training and unknowns that we have come in, we're currently quite a bit over, so that's why it's such a large request this year.
And that was 100,000?
100,000. And then it's coming out of salaries and wages, so coming out of, I think it's...
Any discussion? Mr. Castillo?
Yeah, how many vacancies do you have?
Well, currently I have 2, because I had a retirement on Friday, and we have one of our recruits that washed out early on in our recruit academy. So, but they're not all on the floor. We have 5 that are coming out of recruit academy in mid-January that bring us back closer to up, but it's only call takers. We're working through the cross-training process,
Right.
where really a majority of our overtime is coming. So we are, knock on wood, not at a point where we have mandatory overtime of reasons.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. PS4, resolution authorizing budget modification sheriff's office, additional school resource officer, school safety program. Can I get a motion? Motion, got a second. Any discussion? John?
This was approved last month, actually, but we didn't create the position through HR. So we just need to create the line through HR. They don't see it or anything.
Fair enough for that. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? I'm sorry, Kirby? How we vote?
Is every school covered now? Is there any one school that doesn't have a officer in there?
This was for the BOCES program.
Right.
Unfortunately. Between 2 city PDs, Mexico still got live. Nice.
All right. That's all.
All right. Again, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. PS5, resolution authorizing budgetary modification for sheriff's office overtime in the jail. Can I get a motion? Motion, got a second. Thank you.
Again, that time of year, 2 vacancies, a lot of transports that came up. We're looking at money from salaries and also from our housing out prisoners. Been able to keep much lower this year than in the past. About 2 years ago, more room for females.
Any questions? Mr. Castillo?
6 vacancies. We're going right along with that, right? It seems about as quick as we fill them, we lose a few, and it seems like we're almost always at somewhere between 5 to 10 vacancies. That is correct.
What are we paying for?
I don't have.
Anybody, yes, yes, 55, that's total yes. You say 55? I just, I just ask, 'cause we're always, got vacancies, and I'd like to see a complete man. Safety and.
The turnover is always going to be the case. We hired, 11 or 7 state corrections guys, 5 of them went back to the Okay.
And I just know it's not a job that everybody says, okay, yeah, I want to go do it.
We did just run a corrections academy this year too.
We run one almost every year.
Yeah.
We are in negotiations on their contract again. We're, I think, getting close. Getting to where we are, and I know with the salary adjustments and stuff, we brought them up to, I think, where at least we feel they're in the right range. They're just below the road control as far as the salary.
I'm just looking at it, like I said, not a job that everybody wants. So you're dealing right, it's like probation, you're dealing right with the criminals.
If you're living,
Not like you're walking around, beating people. You don't know, but you know that they're, we have to make it, I know the contract be after I go, but make it reasonable so that it's tracked. Say I want to put my life on the line. Thank you very much, that's all. I'll be in favor of it.
Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. That's it for resolutions. Let's go reporting departments. Kathy. Oh, actually, Kate's up first, I guess.
Good morning, everybody. In the EMS world, our EMT class in Phoenix is continuing. It's going to wrap up next month, hopefully with 13 students. So they're also going pretty strong, grades are looking good, so going well. We did just submit a request and receive approval from New York State to run another EMT class. This one hopefully in Fulton, running from January to May. We're collecting enrollment for that now, so hopefully we get enough interested people to get that class going. Workforce Nerd, still working with them on our EMS programming. Still working on Stop the Bleed program. We recently helped sponsor Save That, which is a student SUNY SB going to for with some equipment for Stop the Bleed classes there. So, happy to provide that. Been going to a lot of trainings lately, one hosted by Mercy Flight, one hosted by Syracuse Fire and Gear and Route Support for critical incident stress management. Looking to extend the EMS and fire resources for that. We had a lot of help and outside partners reaching out to help with that. So really excited to hopefully have some more information next meeting. So, and next, continue to participate. I'm glad we good. And any questions?
Questions for Nate? None? EMS, EMO, Kathy, you're up next.
Recently, for the state, our hazard mitigation plan, which seems like we've been working on this for over 2 years. Unfortunately, it's through a grant program, but there were some questions that came back that we've got to add to some of the municipalities. So we're working through that. We're hoping to have that completed by the end of the year. And then it goes up for further review, which I'm not sure what the status for that would be when we get finished up. But we worked with Rich, sitting back there, for helping us put together a memorandum of understanding between EMO and the 211 organization to try to integrate them into our response. They were very helpful with our response planning last year, so thanks, Rich, for that. Haven't gotten anything back from them yet, but appreciate the support there. We've been very busy with our radiological program, as you all know. We just finished our successful team evaluation and came back with a no finding and a no planning issue, which is great, which means that it was successful. That means that we should have the Amber Action report this week with the full report due 90 days from the original date of the exercise. That being said, next year starts some planning for hostile action-based exercise, which is a large planning issue which involves the Sheriff's Department. But we'll start looking at that next year. The actual FEMA evaluation of the exercise is in 2027, but start planning next year for that. That being said, the conflict will be around probably by then. Legislatures will be some support be an opportunity next year when I'll be on your side for somebody to come down and watch that evolution and learn more about how that works from the chair or someone acting in that capacity. So, if anybody's interested, let me know.
What's the date on that?
So next year it'll be June 9th, whatever the Tuesday is. I think it's June 9th, 2026.
We'll announce that again next year sometime.
Oh, absolutely. I'll start in January.
I'll figure out what we're doing.
I'll start in January.
There you go.
But yeah, I think it's an opportunity. I do want to try to like weekly dump it, or having bench strength, right? So next year I'm going to try to have Tyler play the role of command. So just so we have people playing other positions, because we're not going to be there, right? You might be in another state or another country at the time something happens. We have to think of that. So looking to do some of that. Then also I'll go kudos to Tyler and someone from the health department that helped get published in magazine over our response from the winter storm, creating a sample survey that got published using mapping so we could better serve the community with the winter storm scope piece. So it was supposed to get published in the magazine for that piece that they put together. So congratulations for that. Huh? I know I only have one right now.
Or I requested 5 copies. We're waiting on them to deliver. But I have it electronically if anyone wants it.
Yeah, give it to Betsy, and have Betsy send it out to us.
Okay. Yeah. And from the drone aspect, I've been to another grant application to the local Northfield Power here, and they supported our drone response in the past. So looking to see if they're going to continue to support that. We were also able to support tourism for Super Dirt Week, done some pictures for that. Kevin could probably cover the new air training that was done with the radar system. Also participated in a heavy hazard exercise with the drone piece. I'll let them talk about that. As for water conditions, believe it or not, we're on the same level as we were last year at this time. I know we were talking about a drought with water levels where they were, which they're still down from previous years, but so. But all I got was any other questions.
Any questions for him? Hearing none. Let's move on to Park Coordinator's here. Let's move on to 9. Yep.
So our call data is up at the top there. We did do in October 99 total drone flights. 56 of those were on incidents, and we're still continuing training. We're just getting ready to start the additional 2 positions, starting to get ready to get them into flying, so there'll be more of those coming. But really of note in the management activities, the CSI program, the AWARE project, which is the camera integration consolidation piece of software that we've been working on, progressing and hooking in the county cameras. However, we need to do an upgrade to that software platform. So working with IT on getting that done so that we can try and get those cameras integrated. We do have some of the 511 cameras from New York State DOT are now integrated into that. Until we get the county cameras up, though, and there's really some substance in there for us to be able to start using, we're not going to go live with those just yet, but we're hoping in a month or so that that should be up and going. We had started testing and working on some basic deployment of the RaveLink, which is the automatic notification software. That is, we're seeing some things that aren't necessarily what we were hoping they were going to be on that, so we're working with the vendor to get that cleaned up. Tactical dispatch comm support this month. We were actually pretty busy. We did some radio training in person. Also continued with the virtual radio training for the different sections of the county for fire and EMS. Starting on law enforcement, we did a deployment of the compact rapid deployable, which is the portable cell phone tower site out to Constellation when the sheriff's office was doing a hostile action-based drill out there earlier this month. And that worked really, really well. They had no coverage, had no internet, run their tactical drone stuff. And with us putting it up and connecting it into Starlink, gave them Wi-Fi also. They were able to connect their phones and stuff into it. For AT&T and Verizon, it worked really, really, really well. So that's definitely in a emergency going to be a huge asset during something like this. It was their first real test of it, and it worked out. We also worked on, we supported Super Dirt Week by on-site communications instead of a tactical patch, and some control stations that allow for the fire departments, or fire department, the commander ambulance to be able to talk back and forth with on-track safety, and allow for Oswego PD to be able to talk to security if there's some kind of major law enforcement presence. Luckily, everything went pretty well there. Sure, we didn't have much to do. The advanced telecommunicator piece, in the process of, we have the DFR procedures now are all drafted. We'll be having a policy review advisory committee meeting here shortly to make sure that the Sheriff's Office, State Police, Pulaski PD at least are on board, which are our next 3 rollout areas for the drone piece. As Kathy mentioned, we did do some in-person training with New Air for the airspace monitoring. That was very good. We have a good understanding of how that system works now, along with our advanced telecommunicators. And as of last week, they brought that up, put it into service. We've had a couple technical glitches on their side, I'll say, that didn't affect any of our operations or anything, but the outage reporting, which was a mandatory thing that we had in our agreement, did work as planned, and the notification process went perfectly. So, also in the process of building out 5 more remote sites. So once we get the policy review meeting out of the way, and the technical install of that equipment, which is going to be done in the next couple of weeks here, we'll be able to bring Southern Tier online, and planning on working with BNG, then getting the last guy sites, both of them. Nothing new with Next Gen 911. Continues to work. I'm on the working groups there, so we're learning as we go. There is a grant opportunity for the Emergency Services Information Network that will bring fiber connectivity into the county and connect us back to the state. So apply for that grant, and everybody's getting the same amount. They've just divided it across the county as long as you apply for it. So we'll be getting, I think it's like just shy of $600,000 towards connectivity of something. It has to be phone related. So, we had our 911 Coordinators Association conference. Got reelected as the vice president of that association for another 2-year term. So we had very good attendance, and there were some really good sessions that we had that tie into staff mental health. So we did have a big focus on that during our conference. If that's something that obviously bringing up here is an issue for us. And we're also working on the connectivity piece. I think I mentioned between other counties, focused more so in regions. So like in our consortium in Central New York, we're going to start sharing contact information back and forth. And if somebody reaches out for assistance, that they can have access to, like somebody from Oneida County, their peer support program. As well as we did have 4 more of our employees that were certified and trained in peer support certification for that. So it was really busy.
Any questions? Stick around and see me afterwards. I have Messi. Yep. Questions? Yep. Congratulations. Thank you. All right. Hearing no questions, let's move on to Attorney.
What Don talked about, we in the last quarter we lost 2 ADAs, and we now 2 new ADAs. We have a CLA who was waiting for results of ours, and happy to say she's asked she will graduate to an ADA. So pretty American stuff as far as ADAs, sports members, positions. But other than that, don't have any other questions.
Steve.
At the last meeting, we said we were going to talk about the traffic conversionary program here today.
So,
you're not ready for it, then do it next month, but.
We have recently received payment July and August and October for July and August. So I can give you
Wait till the next,
I can give you more exact numbers at the next meeting. Be closer to the end of the year.
I did get a printout and talk to the treasurer. He felt that it's better to wait till the end of the year so it occurs. Full year, it'll go better.
But a lot of the questions, I guess, are dealing with the process. Okay, and we'll bring it up at the next, next meeting when you get your stuff.
So, prior to the next meeting, I will invite any legislator who wants to demonstrate the process in the grand jury room or any room for you to show you how we dispose, how we do dispositions. I can give you the full, better idea if you want to come in. I'm giving you that invite to each legislature. Open office. If you want to take a look at how we do that, I think it would be very, very beneficial to understand the process for me to also throw estimates. Because numbers to me are not, they're not the impetus. This is for prosecution. This is for efficient prosecution using technology. And being fair, so all the numbers are out there. They are provided to the treasurer. So, with that being said, please give me a call. I'll give you my card. Really come on up and take a look. I really think it'd be beneficial for you.
I think it's more important that you summarize it all, but because otherwise it's hearsay. We heard this from this, town supervisor. We heard this from that town supervisor. They have town supervisors, say how their, interpretation and how they're, it's reflecting on them and they're doing business, right? And it's more, we saw what happened at the last legislature. Okay, the girl was crying. Okay, and I checked a little bit things, and something we'll discuss at the next meeting because you're not ready for it now, and I don't want to, put you into something that well, not about money.
I think if you come up and take a look at how the process works, I think that'll give you a better understanding as well. I don't think it's hearsay for you to come on up and take a look at how demonstrate you how the program works. I think it's. I've allowed. By the way, I had a meeting with the supervisors. They came by demonstrating the process to them as well. We do keep in touch with our town supervisors as far as numbers, etc. Again, that's part of it. I've actually invited the town justices up too to take a look at it.
Ballpark of how many some been adjudicated was just
People.
yeah, like how many summons have got rough ballpark. Thousands. So if you have thousands or thousands and you have a few people coming in and complaining here and there, one or two, there's always going to be anomalies. There's always going to be things that don't work out. There's always going to be people like that. But if we're processing thousands of summonses through this without thousands of complaints, then it's there's some pretty good.
And anybody who calls who needs to provide information. Laptops are kiosks. And we set up a room for them if they don't have the availability to do that. We set it up. So they've been very appreciative of that. So we've been open.
Do you feel it's cut down on failures from here? Or are they still, still got them?
Well, that's hard for me to comment, but I think it's been, the process on the traffic infractions. We also process a lot of the aggravated license charges, which are traffic tickets, but misdemeanors. They must appear in the traffic tickets. We've been able to expedite a lot of that through this process. If they opt to, and again, nobody has to. It's not forced. If they opt to do that, then it saves them a court appearance. And the process is done by email, notice to the court, notice to the defendant and or their counsel. So it is actually an expedited process in my mind as well. It allows for defendants to efficiently resolve their cases without having to sit in court, waiting till the last fall of cases, because that's when the traffic infractions are. Hours and hours waiting for the court to call them to tell them we have an adjourned day. So I think there's a little of, on my side, there's efficiency. I can also tell you, if you want to listen to my senior ADAs who have been writing dispositions, they have saved hours and hours of work time by us implementing this program. For them to concentrate on, last month we had another homicide in the city of Oswego. That's what we're trying to concentrate on. Not to say that traffic tickets aren't priority, but public safety purposes, we do have time to start working more time for those type of cases. For instance, recent homicide. So that's the way I'm looking at it. But really, that invitation is open to all legislators. Come on up, I'll show you the process.
The process that is, I was against it in the beginning. Herb and I and Mike were all against it. Okay, in that it's, let's the rich and famous get out of it. We've all been very, voiceful about the catch and release program that's thrown down at us from the state. Okay, that well, give them a ticket, but that's it. You just let them go. Right? Well, we're doing the same thing here. Only the thing is, you're saying, give me $300 and I'll let you go. Okay, and
$300 is painful. Frank, you brought that up about
it is
the money. $300 can be painful for a lot of people. That's half a week's salary.
Well, the thing is, if you got $300, you can get out of it. If you don't have $300, you can't get out. And you can't afford an attorney, and you can't get a hold of the DA, okay, the ADA, because they call towns. Now, I just know one because I'm going to hear from more. Hopefully, I'll hear from more. Sure. But the towns would like to know which people that you have issued, the tickets are issued to, are going to go into that program because they're looking for them to be coming into court. And they don't know that they're not going to be coming into court. So what they're telling me is that's hearsay. Okay, that's hearsay because I heard it. They said it to me. So
I understand. They got to look at their emails.
Okay, well, they're saying that they're not getting a list of people. One person, and it's only one. So
they get it periodically. Each person at a time. Again, if you want to come up, Frank, I'll show you how it's done.
If you want to let them know what town it is, perhaps you could reach out to clarify.
No.
Well, I'm going to fix it. You're going to keep it a secret.
Yeah, just like anybody out there on the ball, no,
that's all.
But I will though. I'm sure he doesn't mind. Okay, it's from Granby. Okay, Granby says that they're not getting a list. The DA needs to give them a list of people that have signed up for the program and are not going to be coming in because they're looking for them to be coming in. They're way behind on waiting for people to come in and people not showing up. Okay, so, and I'm sure that there'll be more when I do talk. Okay, but it's just some will get into deep when I get more information by the next week. Thank you very much for the time. Thanks, have a good day.
Any questions? Here you come, Herbie.
I was 100% against this program. I showed you I'm thinking, as time goes on, I think it's working to a degree. I think the communication between the DA's office and the towns get better. That's a milestone change. We've never done that before. I used to drop a ticket off in the judge's office. So it's changed so much. But I think over time it might prove good. We see the figures in the end of the year, we'll know. But him offering to put on a class in his office, let's know. It's good. So the better we learn, better if this program's going. Set behind it? No, but I see how it's working. I haven't heard a lot of complaints from the judges. I stopped and talked to a judge the other day for an hour and a half in his house. I go out and I talk. I haven't heard a lot of complaints. The town's budget is not based on traffic checking. They never got hardly any money from the beginning. They kept $5. The only time they get more money is on parking. Parking, they get all of them. So I think its program is working to a degree. We'll know better at the end.
Everything takes time, right? There's always going to be tweaking of those things. So it seems to be going right. All right, let's move on. Sheriff Hilton, you got anything for us?
We got 8 new recruits hitting the street. You can see them out there. Did our first new Citizens Academy. So they're going pretty well. The sheriff said we got 6 openings in corrections, probably 6 in road patrol by the time next academy.
How are the new recruits doing?
Good so far. Everything's good. We've got jail project, the kitchen, about 90% done. Thanks for support on that. That's sort of. Also, you'll see next November, December, much to my dismay, you see a bunch of us walking around with like bums with beards. Sort of no shave November, December. Raises thousands of dollars for a local family. As a member facing cancer. So you have to decide if anybody has a family that you know of, please forward it to me. Send it to me. It's a great program, it raises thousands of dollars. That's it.
Any questions for Todd? All right. Understood. Dave, probation, how are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Our case numbers are staying relatively stable. We're continuing our program in the jail, and we just applied for a grant to continue that next year. We talked to the one so we had an officer resign in a couple weeks, so interview to fill that. We don't have a list, so we're just the applications on the website. That's it. We had officers who completed fundamentals of probation practice up in Jefferson County. State employee training they have to do. It's a 4-week program. Now we're looking, the 3 of them also have to do basic course for police officer training. They need a model. We will end up doing that in Iowa County and both. Program. We're working on getting our body worn cameras, start the process of ordering those. We had a couple special services officers go out for Halloween checks on Friday night to make sure our sex offender clients are in the can come to the house. So they hit a lot of houses. So that stopped nearby, going to schools and different events. They're all weeks ago, a few weeks ago, that I'm out there. Just found out that a high visibility engagement campaign, they're awarded the CMO we had last year, which was $24,500 to additional enforcement for police going out on weekends and holidays. First of all, holidays, so we're actually getting 2 of them now.
Questions for probation? None? No search and rescue today, Kathy?
They're not here. I do have the report if you want to read it.
Sure.
So year to date, they've done 52 calls. They did 55 total in all of 2024, ranging from ages of 2 to 95. Just looking at the subject matters that had shown some increase from 24 to 25, and they've had some increase in dementia cases that they've been on this year, as well as autistic and children that have lost their missing. Those seem to be higher than in 2024. They've had 8 project waste labor incidents this year, and they had 7 in 2024. And they've supported some mutual aid response, one from Broome County from the Forest Rangers, one from Onondaga County St. Louis Police, Shenango County, New York State Forest Rangers, and Onondaga County, Pennsylvania. They had 10 members complete some additional training courses on certificated planning operations, and they did participate in our emergency management rheological drill as a field team for us. And then they have plans underway to get prospective members and customers to add to their
And they're all volunteer, right?
Okay. Any other business? Hearing none, I'll look for the appropriate motion. Motion got second. Favor? Meeting's adjourned.